Good day, and thank you for tuning in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. For all of our new listeners and viewers who are tuning in for the very first time, I'm Pastor Pope, and thank you for allowing us to come into your listening and viewing environment. We are here with you from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, broadcasting live from the FijiWater.com sponsored studio, where you can discuss careers, finances, entrepreneurship. You can discuss marriage, divorce, raising children, blending families. You can discuss dating and relationships. Whatever's in your heart, whatever's on your mind, God is concerned about that which concerns you. And that is the reason that we are here with you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. And for all of our new listeners and viewers who are tuning in for the very first time, I'm Pastor Pope, Senior Pastor of New Life Christian Center, located at 400 Hillcrest Avenue in Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. If you're ever in our area, come and worship with us. We invite you to be with us on Sunday morning beginning at 10 a.m. If you're not in our area, you can tune in on our YouTube channel at New Life Christian Center Pastor Pope at 10:45 a.m. when we go live to broadcast in our virtual sanctuary for all of those of you who are tuning in across the U.S. and those of you that are tuning in from around the world. So we welcome you. And as always, we are here during the week, Monday through Friday, from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, where we broadcast live from the FijiWater.com studio, where our broadcast is brought to you by Fiji Water, Earth's finest water. You may already know that Fiji water comes from Fiji. However, did you know that it is created by nature? It is untouched by man. It starts as a tropical rainfall which slowly filters through layers of volcanic rock, where the water collects in a natural, sustainable artesian aquifer, where it is bottled right at the source, free from human contact until you unscrew the blue cap. Fiji Water, Earth's finest water, will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. This is not just ordinary water. This is Earth's finest water at FijiWater.com. And for those of you who continue giving on the contribution pages of our websites to support the broadcast at NewLifeMinistriesInternational.com and NewLifeInternationalCDC.com, and those of you that use the QR code or the link provided on Facebook and YouTube, and those of you that are now using Zelle on the T-Mobile caller text line at 267-992-1424, we welcome all of you. We thank all of you for your support and for your commitment as we fulfill our commitment to God to be here for you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. And I want to remind everyone, we want to stay connected with you throughout the week through our internet radio station, WKAPFaith.com, where we play music 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So tune in, tell your family, friends, coworkers, and colleagues to tune in and stay connected with us at WKAPFaith.com on our internet radio station, where we broadcast 24 hours a day. Music that will encourage you, empower you, and inspire you. I'm going to address a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you met someone when you were traveling who you really want to be with. You said, however, he lives in California and you live in New York. You want to know, how do you merge two successful careers in two separate regions together? So I'm going to begin by saying this to you. You know, it's going to take work and responsibility. So you're going to have to navigate, first of all, your careers, because that's going to be an important facet of your being able to merge your lives together. Fortunately enough, you both have big careers where you can travel back and forth. You may have to, from time to time, meet in the middle of the country. You may, from time to time, have to schedule visits for one another. And what that looks like is maybe once a quarter you go out to California to visit because you like to travel. Once a quarter he comes to New York so that you can because he likes to travel. But that way you can spend some time together. And you've got to manage your professional schedules to make sure that you have the time to do that. Don't be in a hurry to do anything. Just allow it to take its course. And if he has a plan, he'll get the two of you to the place where you need to go. If he doesn't have a plan, that relationship is not going to work anyway. So you have to allow the relationship to merge itself together, but the two of you are going to have to put in the effort. And so, think about it in these terms. If he comes to New York, the first quarter of the year, and you go to California the first quarter of the year, then the two of you are going to have the opportunity to spend time together twice in 3 months. Now, you might want to navigate that a little differently because of the weather. So you might want to fly out to California during the winter for the first quarter twice every other month. He may want to, and then he would come the second quarter during the spring, twice during the quarter every other month. Then you might fly out to California, or he may come to New York in the summer, which probably would be better for him to come out to New York in the summer. And then you could go out to California in the fall, or you might go out to California in the summer because it's a less rainy season, and he can come to New York in the fall and enjoy the fall climate. But essentially, you will be able to see each other 8 times a year. And, technology has changed everything, so you can FaceTime, you can Zoom, you can find ways to spend time together. And then you can take into consideration, whatever your professional schedule allows. If you can get away one other time, each of you, then you'll be able to make that work. Is it workable? Absolutely. But it's work. But you cannot allow neither of you can allow your professional careers to diminish because of your relationship. You've got to nurture both. You've got to make sure that you're giving 100% in your professional career, and then you all have to give one another 100% if you're going to make it work. Once that has been accomplished, you've charted out the territory. How do you do it? See, the problem in today's society is that people blow with the wind. Whatever the way the wind is blowing, that's what they want to do. So they don't chart out the course. They don't make it a point of saying, and I looked at it, I just shared with you from the practical side of it. So, in today's society, what happens is somebody will wake up today and say, well, next weekend I want to fly to wherever. And start looking for, no, you can't do that, because you both have big careers and you both have geographical challenges. So you've got to make sure that you all are managing your time effectively and efficiently. And to do that, you've got to chart it out. So as I gave you an example, you might go to California during the winter twice in the first quarter. He may come to New York twice in the second quarter during the spring. You may go out to California in the third quarter twice. During the third quarter, he may come to New York twice in the fall. But you'll get a chance to go through every season together. Now, dynamics will change when you start spending more time together, and then that gives you both time to start looking for, if our relationship survives, what's the transition look like? Is he going to move to New York? So you're in 2 great locations. So is he going to move his career to New York, or are you going to move your career out to California? And all of that can be mapped out. And that's what has to be done in society for effective and efficient relationships. You've got to be able to, and the problem is everybody wants the emotional fix. So as I said, it's I wake up and I decide I want to go somewhere. I'm coming out to California. He wakes up, he decides he wants to come to the East Coast next weekend. You can't be effective and efficient doing that. You've got to chart it out. You got to know exactly what you want to accomplish, how you're going to, and how you're going to accomplish that, because that's the only way it's sustainable. And then you allow yourselves to go through every season together to determine, is this something that is sustainable? You know, is dating sustainable until we can determine how we're going to merge our lives together? Because that's the ultimate goal. So yes, relationships are working, and it's going to take me into another communication, but then don't make it a job, and someone else will hear me say that later. It requires work to build a great quality of life. It requires work to build a sustainable lifestyle that is, you know, we call it a God life. It takes work to do that. It takes work to accomplish that. And so if you know that, then you've got to chart the course out. See, here's what's really interesting about God's plan for our lives, is that our lives are predestined because God has a plan. Whether or not we walk in his plan is going to determine how much heaven or how much hell we have right here on earth. It's not going to determine whether you go to heaven or go to hell. Only salvation can do that for you. But it will determine how much heaven or hell you have right here on earth. So if he's charted out the course and we walk the course, we make certain that our lives are aligned with the course that God has for us. We'll get to the place he appointed for our lives without a whole lot of disruption. But unfortunately, because of our sinful flesh, we get off the course that God has charted for us and we go on our own course, whether it's to the left or whether it's to the right. We have to recognize that everything God has planned for us is already charted out. And so we have to read the map, we have to stay on the course, and then we can be assured that we're going to have the success that we desire, the sustainable success that we desire. So you just gotta, you know, your question to me was, you know, how do you merge the lives together? You very carefully, strategically, and working towards one common goal, and that is to merge your lives together and build a great quality of life. So, again, the practical side is chart out how you're going to continue to build and develop this relationship, and then be strategic about how you're going to spend time together in the relationship, and be strategic about how you're going to plan for the future to merge your lives together. And if you do that and include God in all that you're doing, the relationship can be successful. This segment of the broadcast, I want to remind everyone that effective Monday, July 1st, New Life International Community Development Corporation has become your private money lender broker. So if you are in the real estate business, it doesn't matter what you're doing in real estate, whether you are flipping homes, whether you are developing homes and projects, developing commercial projects, I should say, or whatever you're doing in real estate. If you are in the real estate sector, text us on the T-Mobile caller text line at 267-992-1424. We will make certain that you have funding for your projects. And we can do that in 48 states. The only limit that we have is 48 states, and it cannot be owner occupied. So we're not a mortgage company that provides you with mortgage to purchase a home, but we are a private money lender broker that will make certain that you have capital funding for all of your real estate projects. So contact us on the T-Mobile caller text line. Text us on the T-Mobile caller text line at 267-992-1424. And we will make certain that you have funding for all of your real estate projects. And this segment of the broadcast is brought to you by Comcast Business. So if you are looking for the best telecom solutions for your business, whether you are a small startup or a large enterprise, Sarah Jo Boyle at Comcast Business has you covered. With personalized service and expertise, she'll help you find the perfect business solutions tailored to your needs. Call Sarah Jo Boyle at 215-964-3670. Call Sarah Jo Boyle at Comcast Business at 215-964-3670. Your code is Pastor Pope. Your code is always going to be Pastor Pope. That's not going to change. Pastor Pope, PastorPope. And you will receive exclusive discounts. Contact Sarah Jo Boyle at Comcast Business at 215-964-3670. Your code is Pastor Pope. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you are not happy being married any longer. You said your husband has become boring and does not want to do anything except work. The problem is that you also do not want to be single again. So you want to know, how do you resolve this issue? So here's the issue. You're saying you want to divorce your husband because he's become boring and all he wants to do is work. No, all he wants to do is build a great quality of life for you. He wants to make certain that you and his children have a great quality of life. So he's focused on working. You want to do what everybody else is doing right now in society, going on trips, going out, being on the scene, doing different things. But your husband's focused on business and work. What you should be focused on is supporting your husband in the sense of encouraging him to keep working diligently, and you're in your career also, but you should be encouraging one another to continue pushing forward, to build wealth, to build a great quality of life and build wealth. What you should focus on is just vacation, taking a vacation. So, and setting time aside during the year to just take a vacation, a break. I don't like to use that term because you say you want to break and you end up breaking something. Vacation. That means I'm going to vacate my professional environment for a specific period of time. Do not go on vacation and not check your email. Do not go on vacation and not check your voicemail. You do that and you'll come back and find that someone else is taking on your role and you're out of the loop. So you don't want to do that. But it's okay to take a vacation. It really is. It's okay. And I know people who are listening today that are present in my life will say, well, Pastor, you and Lady haven't been on a vacation. But there's a reason for that. And the reason is we know how to manage our time and schedule our time very effectively and very efficiently. So vacation, taking a week off and going somewhere, 4 times a year is not something we're going to do, because we understand the importance of continuing to build and preserve and all of that. But what we know how to do is, if we need some downtime, whether it's staycation at home or whether it's get away, during the winter for a couple of days during the week to go to Florida, or to a warmer climate, we know how to do that. Right now, we're just in the midst of a lot of growth that we are not, if I can just say this, we're not interested in taking a vacation right now. Because we realize that if we take a vacation at this time, and this is what I mean about managing time effectively and efficiently, when we get back, there's going to be twice as much to do. And the way we have our time managed right now, we wouldn't have the strength to do twice as much as we're doing right now. So for us, it's just using wisdom. It's making sure we're lining up our time, aligning our time, managing our time with what God has given us the opportunity to accomplish. So that's the first priority. So I'm suggesting to you and to all of our listeners and viewers, let's do better. We all can plan to take a vacation if we desire to do so. When you understand the dynamics of what God has called you to do and what God is growing you to do, sometimes it's just not the right time. But fortunately enough, and this is what I say, fortunately enough, we're in a place in our lives where when we're done with our business day, when we're done, because there's always more to be done, but when we're done with our business day and we've completed what we're going to do for each day, we are blessed to be able to be at home and have peace and quiet and be at a place of rest in the Lord. So we're good. But when the time comes and the opportunity presents itself, meaning we just take the time out because we could travel anywhere we want to go, but you've got to allocate the time for that. You've got to decide when it's best for you. So stop thinking that you just need to drop everything and go somewhere. Now, in your case, you have the time to go on vacation. Your husband can schedule a vacation. You can even look and decide where you might want to go. You know how many weeks vacation he has. So just manage the time and take a vacation. But only on the given points of the year that the two of you can allocate the time to take a vacation. Don't just decide you're going to get up and go, because that's never going to work out well. And when you come back, you're going to have so much more to do because of your absence. So I'm trying to encourage people to get back on point, and let's do this the right way. There's a reason it's called holiday. There's a reason that it's called vacation. We've got to do, if we really want to build wealth, let me say this. If we really want to build a great quality of life, build wealth, preserve our wealth, and enter into the fullness of God and maximize the fullness of God, we're going to have to do things differently than what we're seeing in society right now. Because our society is really a mess. And unless you want to be part of that mess, we're going to have to stop. We're going to have a renewing of the mind. We're going to have to stop doing what we're doing right now. Enter into a different state of mind and focus on the things that really matter. And that is building a great quality of life, experiencing the fullness of God, and maximizing the fullness of God in all of our lives and in the lives of our children and our children's children unto the fourth and fifth generation. I'm going to say that over and over again until we all get it. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. So if you're not currently a T-Mobile customer, you may call or text on the T-Mobile caller text line at 267-992-1424. We will move you into our queue so that you may have the opportunity to become a T-Mobile customer and experience America's largest and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. Taxes and fees are included in your bill, and if you auto pay by attaching a credit card to your account, you will receive a discount on your monthly bill at T-Mobile, America's largest and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers. However, this segment of the broadcast is going to be brought to you by Charles Tyrwhitt, located in London, the UK. They also have stores in New York, Chicago, Washington, D.C., and at the King of Prussia Mall in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. So if you're in any of those areas, stop in at their retail stores. They have everything a man could possibly need. They have shirts for men, ties for men, suits for men, and accessories. If you're not in any of those areas, you can shop at Charles Tyrwhitt at ctshirts.com online. They will ship and deliver to your front door. And The White Company, located in London, the UK. They also have a store on Fifth Avenue in New York. So if you're in New York, stop in at the retail store. They have everything you could possibly need. And if you're not in New York, you can order from The White Company at thewhitecompany.com. They too will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. I'm going to address a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that this dating life is not what it should be. You want to know, how do you get more out of this dating life? Well, you know what's really interesting? I've shared something that was a revelation from God for all of us. If you did not hear that, you can always go back and look at all of our broadcasts. They're archived on YouTube in perpetuity. But having said that, I have given everyone the revelation that God gave to me about dating life. But people still want to do it their own way. But if you do this, if you follow the instruction of God, if you receive the divine direction, the revelation from God about dating, I've shared with everyone. So we've told you that dating was never designed to do it for entertainment. It wasn't designed to do it for sport. It wasn't designed for a free meal. Dating was designed for two people to come together with the purpose of setting a date. That's why it's called dating. That a man and a woman would come together and build a relationship that would allow them to appear before the altar of God. That's why it's called dating. They set a date to enter into holy matrimony. However, the reason that our divorce rate is about approximately 50% is because what God joins together, let no man put asunder. We don't choose people based on, are they the person God appointed for my life? We choose them based on appearance. We choose them based on success. We choose them based on a lot of different things, but it's not God. And so therefore it's not sustainable. You do have to decide what you want from a relationship and from a marriage. And then you focus on building just that, something that's sustainable. And you've all heard me say, you can't make marriage a job, but it is work to build a great quality of life. So you've got to focus on building something that's sustainable. And the only way to do that is to build it on a foundation that is laid in Christ. That's built based on the revelation of God. So the way you make it work is you prepare yourself to be a wife, not a girlfriend, and wait until he who finds you finds a good thing because you're prepared, and then obtains favor of the Lord. And then, and in order to do that, he needs to take you to church and out to lunch 3 consecutive Sundays. And you will then, by the end of that, you will know, because you have the opportunity to start talking